No woman just stops being intimate. You're right. They just stop being intimate with their husband. So what did he do wrong to deserve that, you ask? Well, he gave her everything she wanted. He did exactly what she wanted. She started complaining that he was on the road too much or was working too much and didn't spend enough time with her. But what's funny is those were the times when the intimacy and the passion was the best. But he decided, he's going to give up his hobbies, he's going to give up his friends for the most part, and he's going to spend more time at home. And all that does is make resentment grow from her. She loses respect because now he's at home a little bit more, and if he's not doing exactly what she wants or thinks that he should be doing, she doesn't like it. Because the first thing she does when she gets up and she starts cleaning or does anything and he's home, why isn't he helping me? Why hasn't he taken the trash out? Why do I have to ask him to take the trash out? He heard the dryer go off. Why didn't he switch the laundry over for me? So she starts nagging him. Why are you just sitting around? Why aren't you helping? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? So he's like, oh shit. Oh, okay. So he starts helping and starts doing all those things. But what does she do? She starts doing less. And now he's spending all this time at home, but yet intimacy and passion and everything it's getting lower. So he asks her, it says, what's going on? Like, you wanted to spend more time together, and now I'm working less and I'm spending more time at home, and well, nothing's the same. Oh, well, I'm just stressed and I've got a lot, and if you could just help me with this, that, and the other, then that would take some stress off me, and, then we would have more time. So he does. And things get better for a week, and then it's right down that same path again. Goalpost moving once again. And now everything turns into a fight, because now she's like, is that all you think about? Like, you bring it up every day. So then he stops. He stops trying to initiate. He stops everything. A month later, he brings it up again. It's like, I don't understand why we're not intimate anymore. And you know what she says? Well, you never initiate anything. When's the last time you've touched me? And he's thinking in his head, the last time you told me to stop touching you, so I haven't touched you since. He doesn't say that, though, because that'll start a huge fight. So during this entire time, she's just thinking to herself, I could do better than this. And then she gets on the internet and she gets on social media and she starts posting pictures. All of a sudden, all this validation's coming in. Guys are in her inbox. So she decides that, maybe I just need some free time. Maybe I need to get out more. So she looks at the husband and says, I think it would help if, maybe if I call my friend Nancy and we go hang out or something one of these weekends, just to get away. Maybe that'll help me. The man, of course, wants to help. So he's like, yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great idea. You guys should go have some fun. That one weekend turns into 2 weekends, which turns into 3 weekends, which turns into pretty much every weekend they're going out. And while they're out, the friend is trying to convince her, who is single, by the way, you could do so much better. Like, remember that one time 37 years ago when he did this? Like, no man should ever say that. Look at all these guys around here. You could have the pick of anybody in here. You're beautiful. And she says, stop, no, that's my husband. Like, no, I could never do that. But after a few weeks of her badgering her and saying the same thing over and over again, that seed is planted. So the next time her and her husband gets in a fight, she starts thinking about it. And through time, eventually, she starts to really think, man, really, does he really treat me bad? Yeah, maybe he does. He did do this and he does do that. Now she's trying to manufacture reasons that she can leave. So now she's checked out. She is no longer in that relationship. She is officially planning her escape. And all the while, the man's been sitting there trying to do whatever he can to help her. And she doesn't realize it. She's too busy thinking of all the little things that go wrong rather than all of the good things that go right. She's letting outside sources and friends fill her head with a bunch of garbage. So when she finally breaks the news to him that she wants a divorce, the guy's thrown back and he doesn't understand why. And she knows deep down she shouldn't be doing it either. More than likely, she probably already cheated on him, and now she has to justify why she's leaving. So she's got to make him the bad guy. So all that stuff that she made up in her head, all that stuff that her friend told her, she's got to make it a reality. So she comes up with this elaborate story. She tells all her friends and family how awful he was treating her and how he was doing this, that, and the other, which was a far stretch from the truth. She leaves and ends up in a couple different relationships over the next few months. Eventually, over a few years, she realizes, oh, man, I made a mistake. That man actually loved me, but the damage is already done. She's already trashed her name to everybody she knows, including her family. So there's no going back now. Even though she wants to, she can't. She can't risk looking like a fool, looking like a hypocrite. And heaven forbid she actually holds herself accountable. So instead, she'll try to play nice and she'll try to be your friend. She'll try to ease her way back in that way. She'll maybe try to play it off as if, they're just hanging out a little bit, starting to do family things again, starting to do holidays as a family again, and telling her friends and family that, I don't know, he seems like he's changed. He's really worked on himself. Again, has to make it seem like she was the good person in the whole thing. And he almost takes the bait. He thinks about it, and he asks her, like, what are we doing here? Are we trying to get back together? Are we trying to work on something? And she has to play it off. Oh, no, we can't do that. We already tried that. We went down the whole marriage and kids thing. Like, we're not doing that. So he does the unexpected, and he bails. He says, okay, well, I'm out. I'm not doing all this family stuff, and I'm not hanging out, and no, we're not friends. Like, that's not how this works. You don't get access to me as your husband if you're not going to be my wife. And he cuts her off, and now she lives the rest of her life regretting every minute of it. She tries her damnedest to replace him. She goes from guy to guy and does all she can, starts reading the Bible more, going to church, trying to figure life out, always looking for something to blame, when deep down all she has to do is just hold herself accountable. The funny thing about this story is there's going to be so many guys that hear it that they're going to think I'm talking about them. They're going to think I had cameras in their house or something, or I was listening in on their conversation with their wife, because this is the playbook. This is exactly what happens in so many marriages. Yet you want to say, men never take accountability. What an absolute joke.